Hey YouTube, it's Penny. Well, in this video, I'm going to share a couple of things that the Lord has revealed to me that I think I might be starting to have some understanding about. So back on January 10th of this year, 2014, I heard, "Get ready for the Marv Classic." And Marv, I understood, was M-A-R-V, all caps. And so I knew that it was some sort of like a sporting event or competition, like a golf classic. And I knew that the letters MARV were an acronym for something. So I looked that up, MARV, and found several things. But the thing that really caught my attention was MARV stands for the Marburg virus, MARBURG virus. And then I was, before the Super Bowl, which is when I received this, there was a clip from the trailer, from that movie Oblivion, where the Tom Cruise character, Jack Harper, is talking about the quote-unquote last Super Bowl. And the female character says, "Please don't tell me it was a classic." And he says, "Classic game." So, at the time I thought, is he pointing to something with the Super Bowl? Because, I had all this stuff pointing to football, and I still don't understand a lot of that unless, like he told me football equals battlefield, and so it could be that he's showing me football in the spiritual realm. Or, this could be related to football stadiums, because I've definitely had dreams about football stadiums, people not being able to get out of them, type of thing. Wikipedia says the Soviet Union had an extensive offensive and defensive biological weapons program that included Marv, M-A-R-V. At least 3 Soviet research institutes had Marv research programs during offensive times. And then, skipping down, as most performed research was highly classified, it remains unclear how successful the Marv program was. However, let's see, this certain guy claimed that a weapon filled with Marv was tested at the Stepnogorsk, Stepnogorsk, scientific, experimental, and production base, which is now in today's Kazakhstan. Anyway, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, it says Marv research continued in all 3 institutes. So I looked at this vaccine research, and it says in 2009, expanded clinical trials of an Ebola and Marburg vaccine began in Africa. No vaccine to date has been approved for use in the US. So this was when I was researching this back in January. In pop culture, it was interesting because the movie Outbreak was based on Marv. And then here, in a crossover event of the TV series Medical Investigation, episode 17, and then something called The Third Watch, season 6, episode 16, the Marburg virus disease breaks out in New York City. Okay, and so I don't think I have to tell any of you guys about what's going on with the Ebola virus in Africa, and the fact that we've been basically letting it into America, and that there have been some reported cases in New York. So that's why I'm bringing this to you now. So on February 6th, I dreamt that everyone in the room stopped talking when a man named Marv West entered the room. And so I had, let's see, this is the 3rd time I've heard Marv. I had forgotten about the first dream. About a couple named Marvin and Jeanette who run a gift shop and rented out small cabins near a ferry terminal in Anacortes, Washington, which is called the gateway to the San Juan. So here's he's showing me Marvin as in at the gateway. So the fact that in the dream that guy's name was Marv West entered the room, I don't know if there's something that has to do with the West. I don't get it, because it seems like it's coming from the east into New York, and Atlanta is where they're taking those people to treat them. So on February 7th, the next night after I heard Marv West, I'd had Marvin, Marv, and Marv West 3 times. And then T, my research assistant, sent me a story about the measles, and I went, oh, wait a minute, MMR, measles, mumps, rubella virus. But I was too tired to figure out, what the V stands for, and I was thinking virus, but I was like, venereal disease, what is this? So I laid down to take a nap that day, and I woke up to the word vaccine. So it seems obvious now, like, duh, measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. But I was being a little dense, and I wasn't quite catching it. And then on January 31st, so back in a week before these two dreams, I dreamt that I was with some other people in a field up behind my house, and this gentleman who is a realtor in the next town, just like 45 minutes away, he showed up, and I understood that he had contracted a dangerous virus when he was in town, and he brought it out to the remote community where I live. And I'm not sure if he touched me or if it was airborne, but somehow he gave it to me, and I was trying to get away from him. And as I was running in this field, the back of my neck felt like it was being attacked by fire ants. Okay, so the last time I was shown fire ants, they represented false doctrines. So I'm not sure if this is connected to, a physical or a spiritual thing, or both. I mean, a lot of times the Lord shows me something, and it has ramifications in both the physical realm and the spiritual realm. So, and the other thing was interesting, when I first shared this with T, she said back around the end of the year, her sister had called telling her about a strange dream that she had where she heard the word flu shot, and when she woke up she thought there was something harmfully being added to the vaccines. So she said, so your word vaccines, MARV, is now pinging with her sister's dream. And then the other thing that's interesting about I shared with her about the classic, the Marv classic. For her, she said that she thinks about something that's been around for a long time or having to do with antiquity or timeless. The classic game would go back all the way to the Olympians versus the Titans, and we certainly have seen a lot of symbolism in the Olympics and both the opening and closing ceremonies. So there may be something that has to do with this, football or the Olympics and stuff equaling this battlefield. So starting to get some noise upstairs. I was warned this was going to happen today, so I'm gonna cut this short because I think that's going to get loud in a minute. So if the Father was pointing me to a potential mandatory vaccine like the MMR, measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, having to do with connected to the Marburg virus, which sounds like very similar to Ebola, and it sounds like it was a bioweapons program. I don't know. This could just be just be me, but I'm beginning to think that it's all connected and that he's warning us about this Ebola breakout that's happening currently. So, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, our Lord God, the King of the universe.